Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. Today, I have two Entitled People Reddit stories, both posted by the same OP, both regarding her entitled friends. Will no contact Oprah be pleased? Let's find out. Maid of honor and best man ruined my wedding. This happened nearly 30 years ago. I'm still a bit salty about it when I look at our wedding pictures, which I did over the weekend. My husband and I got married in the middle of summer, outdoor wedding. We got married on the dock of a beautiful lake at sunset. Our lighting was citronella candles so we could have candlelight and keep away bugs. Knowing it was going to be hotter than hell still, when shopping for dresses with my maid of honor and two bridesmaids, we opted for dresses that were very lightweight cotton, very similar to a t-shirt dress with a flared skirt. Mine was white with pink flowers, maid of honor was blue with pink flowers, and bridesmaids were pink with blue flowers. I paid for them, along with the jewelry and hair accessories and our matching bouquets. I only asked for them to pay for my/their wedding sandals, which we got buy one get one at Payless, dividing the total cost between the three, which was $20 each. I requested hair up, didn't care about the style, just up, and light makeup. For my husband and his best man/groomsman, again, knowing how hot it would be, hubby wore a plain white t-shirt, they wore pale blue ones, cargo jean shorts, and white canvas sneakers. We paid for the shirts and shoes. They all had the shorts already, and as long as they weren't stained or had holes, I didn't care. For context, maid of honor and best man are married, as were our bridesmaids and groomsmen. Maid of honor and best man were the couple that introduced us. One bridesmaid was my best friend, her husband was a groomsman, the other groomsman was my husband's other best friend, and his wife was one of the bridesmaids. Maid of honor did say beforehand that she didn't think our choice of clothing was really wedding appropriate, but everyone else was happy with it. Also, my husband and I had been together for over 10 years, had 3 children, and we just decided to finally make it legal and throw a very casual wedding party. We were to meet an hour before the wedding for some pictures. Maid of honor and best man were 30 minutes late. My jaw hit the floor when they got out of their car. I saw best man first. He's wearing a dress shirt and tie with khakis. Maid of honor gets out and she's wearing what I can only describe as a dress my grandma would wear for Easter Sunday to church. Hair is curled and sprayed to the heavens, still rocking the 80s hair in the early 90s. Heavy makeup that looked like it was going to slide off her face already. I didn't want them being part of my bridal party, but everyone else convinced me it was okay. I was irritated though, because this party was specified as being casual, so they stood out like sore thumbs. Not only with the wedding party, but with the guests as well. I didn't speak to them for a year after this, but our mutual friends convinced me to start talking to them again. There have been several incidents that caused me to cut contact, but they finally pushed me too far, or rather, she did, about 5 years ago, and I cut them off for good. Husband still hangs out occasionally with best man. Quote-unquote friends think I shouldn't mourn a death. I posted a few days ago about our friends ruining our wedding by deciding to wear their own clothing instead of what was chosen for the entire wedding party. I made mention of cutting them off 5 years ago and have been asked to post that story. About 6 years ago, my daughter-in-law passed away due to an overdose. To say that her death rocked our family to its knees is an understatement. I still cannot say her name out loud without choking back sobs. There are some family members that cannot even speak about her yet, which includes my son, her husband. I'm wiping away the tears as I type this, thinking of her death and such a young life being cut short and everything she missed out on. She left behind a baby, my grandchild, that I have had the honor of raising since her passing. My son was incarcerated when she passed away. 5 years ago, her mother wanted to have a celebration of life for her daughter/my daughter-in-law at the 1-year anniversary anniversary of her passing. We put great effort into a celebration, not a mourning. It took a lot of willpower to keep it a happy celebration of her memory and the happy-go-lucky person she was before her addiction quickly consumed her. At the end of it, I was emotionally drained. I maintained my happy face until I was home. I asked another family member to keep my grandchild for the night, as they were too young to understand what was going on that day and needed to be taken care of. I needed time to decompress and be taken care of by my husband. A few hours after being home, a few drinks in me, I had cried myself to sleep. I slightly woke up when I heard my husband talking on the phone. I heard him say, "No, I don't think she's up to it." A few minutes later, he repeated that, along with the reminder of what day it was and where we had just been that early afternoon. After getting off the phone, he checked on me, and I went back to sleep. I don't know how long it was, but I was deep asleep when someone yanked the blanket off of me and told me to get my lazy ass out of bed. There stood my maid of honor. I asked her WTF her problem was. She smirked and said, "Get your ass in gear. We're going to local bar to hear band. No excuses." I shook my head and said, "I can't. I'm done for the day. I have no more in me today." I've smiled and played nice all day when in the back of my mind, all I could hear was an endless loop of the phone call telling me that my daughter had died. Oh my god, everyone wants to go. Move it. No, really, I am not up to being around more people. I can't take another crowd. My head hurts from the stress. I'm not up to loud music and bar noise. You're being selfish. We all want to go, and you're holding us up. Get ready. Whatever. Bye. The door is behind you. You know, you need to get over it. She's dead. D-E-A-D, dead. She's gone. You can't bring her back. Do you think I don't know that? But I have spent the last year being the rock for everyone. I'm taking tonight for me, and I'm going to cry for everything she's going to miss out on. Oh, boo-hoo. A drug addict died. You're all better off without her anyway. What did you just say to me? I know you did not just say that to me. Please, tell me that was my imagination. I'm hallucinating from the stress. I said it. I have no use for addicts, and you know it. The only good junkie is a dead one. Now, quit pretending she was something she wasn't. Get yourself together and forget about her. Get out of my house. Don't ever call me, text me, come here, ever again. Get out now, before I put you out. You know I'm right, and you can't handle it. I said, get out. I'm not proud of this, but when she didn't immediately move, I grabbed her and physically shoved her every few feet, with her stumbling and trying to still talk to me. We hit the front door, and I shoved her out as hard as I could. She landed on her ass. Our husbands were standing outside. My husband grabbed me to restrain me. Hers helped her up. I looked at her husband and told him to get her away from me and never come back here again. I never wanted to see or hear from her again. It would be a cold day in hell before I would forgive her. They got into their car with her screaming at me that I knew she was right. She was calling the police to have me arrested for assault, and she was suing me for any medical treatment she might need for her injuries. Yes, she did call the police. They heard my side of how she came into my bedroom and yanked my blanket off after telling my husband she wanted to check on me, and if I was still asleep, she would leave me alone. He was still naive and believed her to be a good friend that was just concerned about me. But they said I had a better case for assault against her since she was in my house and provoked me. Her husband apologized to mine, and I have told my husband that they can still hang out, but I won't ever have a thing to do with her again. The husbands get together, fish, shoot pool, do guy things, but she's not involved and I'm not either. However, she did try to make an appearance and pretend like nothing ever happened. A little over a year later, we were outside and they pulled up. She got out of the car, asked if I was over my hissy fit, over the dead junkie yet. I shook my head, told her to leave, and she started in. But I don't even have a clue what all she said because I went inside, closed closed the front door and called the non-emergency police line and asked for an officer to come remove a person from my property and to please issue a trespass notice. They did. Haven't heard from her since. Ah yes, no contact Oprah is pleased. I'm so glad that OP cut off this awful woman. It sounds like it was always just a friendship of convenience for the husbands anyway, so no love lost, really. As someone who has family members who struggle with addiction, including my cousin, who is one of my best friends, I was absolutely mortified when she said that the only good addict is a dead one. Mental illness comes in many forms, and addiction is one of those forms. Just because someone is struggling doesn't make them any less worthy of being treated like a human being. Like, ugh, who says stuff like that? A narcissistic psychopath that lacks empathy. That's who, and I say good riddance to that quote-unquote friend. But anyway, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed these entitled people stories. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!